Thank you. Amazing work. So thank you to the three of them. Okay, so our final item, our final presentation for the evening will be a presentation from the Laguna Beach Historical Society. So as many of you know, we are approaching our city's 100th year anniversary. And so what the goal is every few meetings to have a presentation from the Historical Society about a key moment or period in Laguna Beach history, because there are very few cities that have the history that we have. So Carol,
Thank
go
you,
ahead.
Dr. Mayor Renagi and City Council members. My name is Carol Lloyd, and I represent my family, my history, and the Laguna Beach Historical Society, of which I'm a board member. But my family is back there, and we're going to have a good time. So I wanted to share just for a short time. Last time I shared, I had my mother's map here, which was wonderful to share with you. But now I put together a PowerPoint, and I'll go through it as quickly as I can because I know your schedule is busy tonight. Next slide, please. This is my mother, and her name is Burl Wilson Viebeck, and because of her, we have found so much out about Laguna Beach history, not only with our family, but with many families in the pioneering times of Laguna Beach. She has done a lot of primary research. She has passed now, of course, but I'm here to represent her because she left a legacy for our family, but she also left a legacy for Laguna Beach. Next slide. In her search for finding who she was told owned Laguna Beach property for so way back, she and my father, as I shared last month, went up to Sacramento and found the title of my great-great-grandfather Henry Rogers' homestead title. I wish it were larger so you could see it, but it was signed by Rutherford B. Hayes, and all the presidents at that time when a homestead was granted needed to sign those titles. And while she was up in Sacramento in 1990s, in the mid-1990s with my father, she turned the microfiche reel and found 38 other homestead titles of Laguna Beach. And Laguna Beach was public domain. It was not part of the Mexican grants, land grants. It was public domain. So who settled and started Laguna Beach way back then were the homesteaders. Next slide. Henry acquired his homestead of 160 acres from Temple Hills all the way over to Bluebird Canyon. So right up here is where he was, and it's so exciting to think about that. When I look up on that hill, I can't quite envision what it looked like, but I know it was, of course, a wonderful time in that 1870 time period. You cannot see it, but on this title layout that my mother typed, not on computer, but on typewriter, she put all the 39 homesteaders on this form, and you will see the Goff homestead up there, Hemingway's up there, Oscar Warling, who is a family member of ours. Thurston, of course, is up there. Brooks is up there, so quite a few of them. Our Henry Rogers was the 5th homesteader in Laguna Beach. Next slide. This is Abraham Lincoln's Homestead Act, of which those titles were granted from. He wanted to open up the West. So in 1862, May 20th is when that Homestead Act started. And at the time, like I mentioned, the current president needed to sign that title. Next slide. This is a copy of my mother's map that I brought last time. And on there, she laid out, and this is what she did, laid out all the plot lines and all the boundaries as best she could of every homestead she found, using those titles that she copied off in Sacramento. So she divided the map, and the map is really indicative of the 3 homestead areas, Laguna, Arch Beach, which is south, and in the middle section. So all of those homesteaders are up there. The notes, the small writing that you might glance at, is her writing where she listed all of them, plus further information than that. On the left is the Canyon Road. Left of that is the Irvine Company's land. They did not come into Laguna Beach, but they were adjacent to the Canyon Road. Next slide. My mother put the map together, as she said, as a remembrance and homage to those 39 homesteaders and those who have gone before us, and to share my drawing and hand lettering for us who love Laguna Beach. Next slide. This is a close-up, more of a close-up of the map. And you will see George Thurston's homestead, which is the ranch, of course. Mark Christie is there. And he's thrilled about having his ranch on a homestead. And that's an exciting time period to have George Thurston there. The Goffs are on that part of the map also. The only woman homesteader was a Goff sister, and she's the only woman homesteader during that time. The next slide shows a list. We are number 5, Henry Rogers, signed by Rutherford B. Hayes. This is my mother's handwriting. And so the first one was George Fountain. You'll also see Henry Goff's there, Harvey Hemingway, William Brooks, Lulu Goff, which is the woman homesteader, and Oscar Warling, Joseph Yock. So all of those were our pioneering homesteaders, which is so exciting. The next slide. This is my family, basic family tree, with generation 1 being Henry and his son George Rogers, who I shared last time about having the ranch house right here at the City Hall. And I will share next time about more of him and some of the land in Forest Avenue, Ocean Avenue that he sold during that time. And I will talk about some of those developments. So we're way down at the bottom, and my mother is Burl, her mother is Lenore, so it goes all the way up. So that's it for today, but thank you very much for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you, Carol, for that fascinating presentation, and I encourage everyone to join, become a member of the Laguna Beach Historical Society, because I think, especially as we look at, really we're beyond 100 years, because if you think about the homesteaders, it'd be 1976 was our centennial, but ahead of our centennial for incorporation in 2027, they will be doing a lot of activities. So really appreciate the partnership and looking forward to continue telling the stories of our fascinating history. So with that, we're at this point going to take public comment.